Good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. We will go ahead and get started. I have 12:03. So thank you for joining us today for this 2025 AAAS HBCU Making and Innovation Showcase Application Info Session. So a very long title, but this webinar is really to just give some information on our application process for the 2025 HBCU Making an Innovation Showcase and just allow you to ask any questions you might have. My name is Iris Wagstaff, and I am a STEM Program Director at the AAAS, and I am also the lead for this program. So we will go ahead and get started. So hopefully you can hear and see me okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, so just a little bit about the American Association for the Advancement of Science, better known as the AAAS. If you are not aware of the AAAS, the AAAS is the oldest and largest general scientific organization in the world. AAAS was formed in the mid 1800s and has over 100,000 members worldwide. Most people that know of AAAS know us from Science Magazine, which is our publication side of the organization, but our team is representing the nonprofit or programmatic side of the organization. We also have a membership side if you're interested in learning more about becoming a member of the AAAS. So our mission is simple, but it's huge, and that is to advance science, engineering, and innovation throughout the world for the benefit of all people, advancing science and serving society. And within this really big, simple mission, we have two strategic goals that this HBCU Innovation Showcase really addresses, and that is to advance scientific excellence and achievement and to foster equity and inclusion for scientific excellence. We accomplish this mission through a number of initiatives, programs, projects, and activities. One of those efforts is the HBCU Innovation Showcase. So I'd like to acknowledge our AAAS leadership. Sudip Parikh has been a huge supporter of the HBCU innovation efforts since we started it back in 2018. It is the only HBCU focused effort at the AAAS. I'd also like to acknowledge Gilda Barabino, our board of directors chair, and as well as our outgoing AAAS president, Dr. Willie May, who's also at Morgan State. As of this weekend, our incoming president will be starting at our annual meeting at the AAAS. Willie May has been a 30-year mentor of mine in chemistry, and I just like to acknowledge their support of our efforts. So just a little bit about the overall initiative, which is strengthening an inclusive innovation ecosystem through an HBCU community of practice. This HBCU showcase is one component of this overall initiative to really advance innovation capacity at HBCUs in the areas of making, innovation, entrepreneurship, and invention. And I'd like to acknowledge the funder of this grant, the National Science Foundation's HBCU undergraduate program. And to learn more about AAAS as well as our project, you can check out our website. So this is one of the photos from our 2024 HBCU showcase from the Tuskegee team. Since 2018, we have engaged over 32 HBCUs with this showcase. We've supported almost 500 HBCU students and faculty, and 12 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals have been addressed by student-led teams who have created and pitched their innovation or prototype for prize money at the annual showcase. So again, as I mentioned, the showcase is one component of a number of broad initiatives, projects, and efforts that we have under the umbrella of advancing innovation capacity at HBCUs. We are launching a number of things this year that includes selecting an HBCU-led research team to address best practices in advancing innovation capacity. We are launching our HBCU Faculty Innovation Leadership Institute. We are having an innovation leader listening session. We are also launching our student innovation internship as well as our student innovation ambassadorship. And we are continuing to curate a resource that we started in 2018, which is our HBCU Innovation Resource Toolkit. And finally, which is a big part of the showcase, if you are selected as a finalist for the showcase, is our year-long mentoring and coaching that the teams will receive as a part of participating this year. So just a little bit about this inclusive innovation community of practice that we have curated. That community of practice includes students, you all, if you are selected to participate, faculty. We have a number of partners in industry, Black innovators, as well as our federal partners. And I do want to acknowledge Demetria Gallagher, who is the Vice President of Innovation Education at VentureWell. VentureWell is one of our co-sponsors for the showcase this year, and they also will be providing access to many grants to faculty and an opportunity for the winners of our showcase to participate in their e-teams competition. As always, I like to acknowledge our project team. So at the AAAS, in addition to myself, we have a very small team, but Pamela Peku, who you will be interacting with if you're chosen to participate in this year's cohort, is our program manager. Claire Malloy is our project associate. Janice Lim and Erica Wood lead our event operations, so they will be helping us plan this year's showcase. And then, as always, our evaluation team is an integral part of our team. Kavita Mittapalli, Nina De Las Alas, and Debbie Ngumbor. We have an amazing, amazing advisory board. Again, they serve as a key part of this community of practice. They have taken time out of their very, very busy schedules to not only serve as our advisory board, but these are the people that would be coaching you and mentoring you during our monthly e-mentoring sessions and other activities that we have throughout the year to help you prepare to pitch your innovation or prototype at this year's showcase. So we have a number of Black innovators, faculty, all types of people with expertise in the innovation arena that we are providing you access to and a chance to be mentored and coached throughout the year. So I just want to acknowledge our amazing advisory board for taking time out of their busy schedules. Okay, so now we'll speak specifically about the 2025 AAAS HBCU Innovation Showcase. It will be held September 25th to the 27th here in Washington, D.C. We open applications on February 3rd, and the deadline is February 28th by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what is the showcase all about? So student-led teams from HBCUs along with an advisor will develop a prototype or innovation in response to one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And I will go over those 17 goals on the next few slides. But just to summarize, if you are selected to be a part of our 2025 cohort, you will receive e-mentoring, training, and professional development. You'll get a chance to develop intimate, strong, and valuable relationships with our community of practice. If you place first, second, or third place, you will receive prize money for your pitch. There's also national recognition, and we are providing a second year of continued support for anyone that is selected for this year's cohort. So the showcase framework is the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So these are 17 goals that address a number of issues, but if you look at these goals, pretty much they all deal with improving the quality of life, whether that is eradicating hunger, poverty, ensuring quality education, gender equality, making sure we have renewable energy resources, addressing climate issues, and again, overall quality of life. So student-led teams, again, along with a faculty advisor or an advisor that's non-faculty, that must be in an HBCU, will put together an application that identifies a problem and addresses that problem by using one of the sustainable development goals. So the application process, and all of this is on the website. I'm just wanted to call out and highlight a few of these um, criteria. So, as far as eligibility, students and the advisor must be at an HBCU. This is only open to HBCU students and advisors. So, a team consists of a minimum of 4 students and a maximum of 5 students. Students can be undergraduate or graduate students. They do not have to be in STEM fields or do not have to be STEM majors. They must be at an HBCU. The advisor can be faculty or non-faculty, but the advisor must be at an HBCU. Teams must be able to participate in the showcase and must be able to participate in the year-long monthly e-mentoring that we are providing in order to get the most value out of this opportunity. So we've also put together a checklist for you. I definitely suggest that you review that checklist before you put your application together. And only one person on the team, whether that's the student, a student, or an advisor, needs to complete the application. So when we say team lead, we're simply referring to the person on the team that is submitting the application. That's all that means. So you need to make sure you gather all of this info before you sit down to submit the application. So you need to put together your team. You need your team's names and email addresses, school affiliations, and then there are some 5 indicators as far as your school profile that you will need to gather as well. So school type, whether your HBCU is public or private, school focus, whether the focus is research or teaching, locale, whether you're rural, suburban, or urban, size, Carnegie status, which includes R1, R2, R3, and then what innovation resources that you have. And the reason we're asking you to include this information is because there is a broad diversity within the 100 plus HBCUs, and we are really trying to tap into those schools, not only the schools that have a lot of resources, but we're really trying to identify and support those schools that don't have a lot of resources and would benefit the most from participating in this effort. You also need to identify a problem that you want to solve with your prototype or innovation, the UN goal that you want to address, and then you'll have an opportunity to include a project title and description. And we've also provided a PowerPoint template to help guide you in creating the PowerPoint. So new for 2025, if we have anybody on the webinar today that has participated in the past, just some new things for this year. The advisor does not have to be a faculty member. Your advisor can work in some other capacity other than a faculty role, but must be in an HBCU. We are increasing the minimum number of students from 3 to 4 on a team, and an advisor can only advise one team. Also, we have modified slightly the rubric. And so this is what each project will be judged on, not only for your selection for the cohort, but these are the same categories that you'll be judged on when you pitch your innovation at the showcase in September. And those are alignment with the sustainable development goals, defining the problem clearly, communicating your competitive advantage, um, innovativeness of the concept, feasibility and scalability, and finally, market awareness and clarity and effectiveness of the pitch. So now I'll just go over the PowerPoint template that each team will actually create and submit as part of their application packet. And again, I advise all teams to review this template first. So the first slide, you'll need to enter your project name and institution and all of the members of your team, so all students and your advisor. The next slide, you'll need to enter the goal that you are addressing, the UN Sustainable Development Goal that your project will address. How does your prototype or innovation uniquely address the goal? This is very, very important that you are clear about this, clear about the problem that you've identified and how the UN Sustainable Development Goal will address that problem. And then finally, your project description. What problem are you solving for? What did you develop or aim to develop? Who's the target audience or intended users of this prototype or innovation? What is the proposed cost to develop and sustain the project, i.e., business plan, partners that you may have identified, whether those are at the local, state, or national level? Why is this project important and why did you choose it? So next I'd like to go into just a little bit about the two stages of this project. So stage one is prototype ideation, research ideation, design, and development of your prototype or innovation. And we've broken this out into the student role and the advisor role. So the student role will involve exploring and research, brainstorming and ideating, evaluating and refining your prototype or innovation, the framework for that, actually designing the prototype and innovation, and then pitch preparation, which you will be doing throughout the year. And then this all culminates in the showcase where you will pitch your innovation for prize money at the showcase. The advisor's role, again, is to serve as an advisor. This is a student-led opportunity along with an advisor. So choose your advisor well, choose your teammates well, because this will involve teamwork throughout the year. The advisor, again, will serve as a coach and will have regular check-ins with the students, and we will also support the advisors with specific and targeted training for advisors to help better equip them in advising students for this effort. And the outcome is that teams will leave stage one with a validated prototype, foundational skills and innovation, and expertise to help them pitch their innovation at the showcase. Stage two is tech transfer, product commercialization, integration, prototype refinement, technology transfer, and market readiness. So the student roles involves post-showcase mentorship. And again, if you are selected for the 2025 cohort, you will have a second full year of continued support through 2026. So for example, our cohort from 2024, this year they will participating in their second year of this type of support, which is the next level. Now that they've created a prototype or innovation, they'll receive mentoring on tech transfer, IP, the R&D commercialization process, market research. Some of the innovations from last year are actually ready to be submitted for like FDA approval and clinical trials. So just really some high quality projects from last year that will be spending this year moving those innovations to the next phase. The advisor role in this stage two, again, is to have repeat communication with the student-led team, supporting them in any way needed, and having regular check-ins with the team and with us. And the outcome of stage two is that students will have a refined, tested prototype with a clear roadmap for commercialization that will position you for future entrepreneurial success. So this is a snapshot of the showcase planning timeline. I mentioned the application deadline is February 28th. Then we will sort, review, and select the cohorts for 2025. And then the next steps involve preparing to register for the showcase, finalizing your team's acceptance of joining our cohort, and then from April to September will be monthly e-mentoring sessions that will be held the second Wednesday of every month from 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll also have some broader PD webinars for the broader HBCU community, as well as our second year cohort from April to September. And then we will have, as part of the monthly e-mentoring, two opportunities, round one and round two, to develop your pitches for submission for the showcase. These are opportunities where our board members that I just mentioned earlier will be mentoring you and coaching you through developing and refining your video pitches for the showcase. And all of this will culminate in the showcase that will be held September 25th to the 27th. So I do want to take some time to go over expectations and accountability. The National Science Foundation, the AAAS, all of our board members at a community of practice have invested a lot of time, money, and energy into this effort. So as far as cohort expectations, if you are selected to participate in the 2025 cohort, each team member must complete all surveys related to assessing the impact of the monthly e-mentoring webinars, basically all of the efforts that we are putting together for the benefit of the teams, because this is how we are able to fund this work and keep it continued. I, as the principal investigator of this work, have to write proposals to the National Science Foundation, other federal agencies, Microsoft, industries to get this work funded. And we can't get this work funded and we can't support you without you helping us to show impact. So completing the surveys is very important. It's important for each team member to participate in the faculty focus groups that will be held by our, convened by our evaluation team at the showcase. And each team must have at least one team member present on each of the monthly e-mentoring webinars and the other webinars that we are putting in place. And as far as accountability, we will be checking for that. And you may be asked to not continue participation if there is a lack of participation and accountability for this effort. It is a year-long commitment. So just wanted to take some time to go over our expectations and accountability if you are selected for this cohort. So at the showcase, if you are selected as a finalist to pitch your innovation, we will cover travel, registration, hotel, and incidentals at the showcase. In addition to pitching your innovation, both students and advisors will participate in their own track of professional development sessions that range from a number of topics like crowdsourcing, IP, commercialization, patents and trademarks, tech transfer, leveraging social media, education and career opportunities, and funding your work, funding your prototypes, your innovations. Again, I mentioned the monthly PD and training webinars. If you are selected for this cohort, you will be an official member of our inclusive innovation community of practice. And we just heard last week that some of the students that participated last year were selected as E-Team winners by VentureWell, who's our partner. And that comes with a lot of money and a lot of support. Again, we are offering prize money for the first, second, and third place winners. And we have partnered with VentureWell to provide opportunities for students that include the e-teams competition as well as mini grants for faculty or the advisors. And I already mentioned the second year of support throughout 2026. So just some of the topics that I mentioned, training and leadership opportunities that we are providing, a number of topics that range from research and evaluation training, data science, funding and resources, some of our student focused efforts I mentioned earlier. That includes our launch of our HBCU Student Innovation Ambassadorship, where we will be selecting students to serve as leaders on their HBCU campuses. Our HBCU Student Innovation Internship, we are partnering with our community of practice to provide these virtual and in-person internship opportunities for students. And then some of our faculty advisor focused efforts. We are launching the HBCU Faculty Innovation Leadership Institute, as well as selecting an HBCU-led research team to support and fund to help us with the research on advancing innovation capacity at HBCUs. And again, I mentioned the VentureWell faculty grants or research grants that we are partnering with VentureWell to provide the advisors. So just some final info. This webinar is being recorded. We will share the slides and the recording on our website probably by mid next week. We'll also share that on social media. If you have any questions, I will stop now to answer any questions anyone might have. You can reach us at hbcumaker@AAAS.org, and definitely follow us on social media, because this is where we share a lot of information, a lot of resources, a lot of opportunities. Whether you are selected for this cohort or not, this is a place where we will be sharing information and resources about other opportunities in addition to our opportunity. So I will stop sharing